Hey, it's Hunt. You found Hunt on Saints. We're talking black and gold football. Do us a favor. Hit the like button, share your comments below, and hit that subscription button so you can get all of our content. Enjoy.
Look, all week long, we've been talking about training camp, and we're obviously looking at what are the bright spots for the Saints, where are some spots that they maybe need to improve a little bit. One of those spots they need improvement, I think none bigger than defensive end. Obviously, you have Cam Jordan on one side, but who's going to take the reins at that spot opposite of Cam Jordan? Is it a Carl Granderson, a guy who kind of burst onto the scene, had 8 sacks last year? Word around training camp today was that Peyton Turner was running with the ones today after Granderson took the 1 reps yesterday. So a little bit up in the air. They really could use another piece in that defensive end room. And Canal Street Chronicles actually put out an article mentioning that, they are a little light on the defensive end spot. Right now they got Carl Granderson, Cam Jordan, Tano Passanio, Peyton Turner, and then rookie Isaiah Foskey out of Notre Dame, who they selected in the second round. So you have a really good veteran player. Then you got a lot of young guys with not a ton of experience. I mean, Peyton Turner, obviously that first round pick, he hasn't really panned out, at least not from the position that you drafted him in. And this article mentions that free agent defensive end Jadeveon Clowney could actually be a pretty decent move. And at first I kind of pushed pause on it. I was like, look, Clowney, big name, but do you really want him on your roster? The more I looked into his numbers, the more I'd actually be okay with a signing like this. Look, Clowney's been in the league for 9 years, 320 tackles, 43 sacks. He last played in Cleveland for the past 2 years under Joe Woods, who is the Saints' new defensive coordinator. So there's some familiarity there. Look, he's been solid his whole career, never really lived up to that number 1 overall pick status that he was when he came out of college. I was a little surprised to learn that he's actually never had a double-digit sack season. You're like, well, Taylor, you're going to bring in a big name, a big personality. Is he going to perform and be an all-pro? You don't really need him to be. Again, he was with Cleveland the last 2 years. You just need a little bit of stability. I'm not even saying that he's going to be a starter for you, a depth piece nonetheless. Last 2 seasons in Cleveland, he had 11 sacks total. Did deal with some injuries, had a down year in 2022 as he only got to the quarterback twice last season with a total of 2 sacks. But look, he's obviously supremely talented. We saw what he was in college. Folks here around Baton Rouge, we know all about him as he played at South Carolina, came into Tiger Stadium one time, made a lot of plays in that game. The Tigers were able to actually come out with a win. Only 30 years old, though, so not a lot of tread on those tires. And again, you certainly need veteran help at that defensive end spot. He's got that connection to Joe Woods from his time in Cleveland. And right now, your only 2 reliable ends on your roster is Cam Jordan and Carl Granderson. Can Granderson replicate what he did last year? I don't know. I'd like to say yeah. If I had to put money on it right now, I'd say probably not. Is Peyton Turner going to break through? Again, I'd like to say yeah, but what have we seen from him for us to have a lot of confidence in him as Saints fans? Now, is this strictly a depth piece? I don't know. It all is going to depend on Peyton Turner. Can he take that next step? He had a lot of injuries as a rookie. Last year, kind of his first full season with the Saints as he missed a lot of the 2021 season, but was very inconsistent last year. But can he make that jump? We've seen a lot of young players make a big jump from year 1 to year 2 and then year 2 to year 3 very early in their career. So Jadeveon Clowney, certainly not a bad option. But look, if it's not Jadeveon Clowney, who could you go after? So I wanted to pull up a list of some of the top free agent defensive ends out there on the market right now. Now, you obviously have Robert Quinn. If you're an NFL football fan, you know Robert Quinn. Big-time player, been in a lot of big-time games. Problem is, Quinn is 33 years old. He's probably going to demand a little bit more money than Jadeveon Clowney as well. The good thing about Clowney is at this point in his career, you could probably get him for very near the league minimum. It would be a little bit over that, but you're not having to break the bank. Keep in mind, it is late in the process. You've already started training camp. Preseason's in a few weeks. Then your season is off and rolling. You don't need to spend a bunch of money on a guy that has to come in, have that learning curve. Another guy, Yannick Ngakoue, 28 years old, coming out of Indianapolis. He's also spent some time in Jacksonville. He's obviously the most talented free agent defensive end on the market. But he's going to command a lot of money in free agency. Again, this late in the process, does New Orleans really want to get into a bidding war with another team? I don't think so. You got Matthew Ioannidis from Carolina, solid player. Akeem Hicks, maybe. He's 33. Justin Houston, 34 years old. So, I kind of pushed pause on it when I first saw the Jadeveon Clowney name brought up. But the more I look at it, I don't hate it. Because, again, he's not going to cost you a ton of money. And he hasn't been a superstar in the league, but he's always been a solid player. And outside of 2022, he's been pretty healthy for the most part. Now, it's the NFL. You're going to get banged up. You're going to have injuries here and there, but it's never been anything of any significance. So he's relatively healthy. He's only 30 years old. He's familiar with Joe Woods, and he's not going to cost a ton of money. The inside of your defense looks pretty good right now. I mean, you have Brian Bresee. You got Cam Jordan on the other defensive end. That's going to be your veteran presence. He's going to be the anchor of that defensive line. Can you bring in a solid veteran presence on the other side? Not saying Clowney needs to start. If nothing else, he can push Peyton Turner. Bring him in and say, hey, we're bringing this guy in for competition. We just saw the Saints on Monday sign Trey Turner and Jimmy Graham. Are they going to be starters? I don't know. I don't think Jimmy Graham's going to be a starter, but he's in there for competition. Trey Turner's going to push these other guys to kind of step up their game a little bit, be a little bit better. So, looking at it on the surface, it may not sound like a great idea because Clowney's not only a big name, he's kind of a big personality. Would he be okay that, if he made that team and wasn't really named a starter, would he be okay at being a rotational piece? I don't know what the market looks like right now for Jadeveon Clowney. Don't know if any teams have reached out to him, but I think the Saints could do a lot worse. I don't think that is a terrible idea.
Hey, it's on. Thanks for watching Hunt on Saints. Before you leave, help us out a little bit. Hit that like button, leave your comments in the section below, and hit that subscribe button so you get all our content right here from Hunt on Saints. We'll see you next time.